Hey everybody, welcome back to Kolossal Games HQ. I'm Chris Hamm, the lead developer here, and today I'm going to be playing the solo game from OMEN Heir to the Dunes, which will be coming to Kickstarter later this year and is the newest addition to the OMEN saga. For those of you not familiar with the OMEN saga games, they are from designer John Cloudis, and they deal with mythological warfare between demigods, and began in Greece and moved more to Mesopotamian era as you go through Edge of the Aegean and into Fires in the East, as well as some of the supplemental expansions. And now we finally move to Egypt in Heir to the Dunes, where the game takes on a slightly different outlook in that players will play as the demigod child of one of the specific gods, representing either Horus or Anubis of Egyptian mythology. As far as everything else, most of the game remains the same, as in players will be using units to war over cities in the city board and the reward tiles contained within for successfully winning those conflicts. However, there are some additions that are specific to Heir to the Dunes. For example, rather than feats as are in the original OMEN, we include structures. Obviously, ancient Egypt being famous for its great monolithic structures. Players can build these for victory points at the end of the game, as well as a way of entombing units under there, either as removal for their opponents or as a way to store these up for later when the structure is complete, and then release them back either into play, one of their own faction, or a number of cards to their hand, depending on the size of the faction that was constructed. The way that the game ends is very similar to most OMEN games. One of the conditions is the same, in that if two of the reward piles, tile piles in cities are depleted, then the game will end during that offering step. Or, in this case, if either player has completed all of their structures during an offering step, then the game will conclude as well. Now, obviously, in this case, I will be playing against the AI in the game, and it will still end in the same manner, but there will be some special rules governing how it battles against me. So, just to give you a brief idea of how that works, this is not a game where you'll be making a solo game where you'll be making decisions for the AI. It's a simple programmed brain with an escalating economy, and this little piece here, which is going to obviously be different in the final game, as this is still a prototype. In fact, the cards that you'll see on here are what are available on the PNP PNP that we've offered on BGG, so that you can try out the game for yourself as well. But this will simply, the OMEN token as it's referred to, will simply move one city at a time to each side, and this will dictate where the AI will choose to play the units that it can. The normal game runs on coins and cards, so during setup, like a standard game of OMEN, I will take 4 coins and 4 cards off the top of the deck. And then the way that the AI works, depending on the difficulty that you choose to play, you decide how many coins you want to allow it to start with. Now, as the game progresses, each round it will add 1 coin to its total. However, it will never grow beyond a total of 7 coins per turn. The AI is always treated as though it has no cards in hand and that it has no coins. So any card effects that you may play that could affect your opponent's cards in hand or coins have no impact on that. Likewise, the AI is purely trying to overwhelm you with brute strength. It does not itself use any abilities in the game on its cards. So it's simply going to try to win through warfare and by building its structures in a slightly different manner than you do. But I'll show you as we go. So, as having played the solo game quite a few times and worked on it largely, I'm going to start on the second level of difficulty by allowing the AI to start with 1 coin. So now we're ready for the game to begin. As the second player, I begin as the favored god, and that will change any time a unit of that is non-favored, devoted to a different god than the one is favored, that card will be flipped to its other side. However, there's no benefit particularly provided to the AI, as it does not use any abilities. All right. So to show you how this is going to work for the AI, it has begun with the 1 coin. We've placed the Omen token on the leftmost city, and now we're ready to begin its wealth step. It always gains 1 coin. Then it reveals the top card of the deck. If this had matched its faction, oh, have you switched to the overhead?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If this were revealed of its faction, it's playing as Anubis, then it would get to add this card for free, this unit, and it would be placed in the city where the Omen token is. However, it was not an Anubis, so it does not get it. So now it's going to start playing units off the top based on its cost. Now, and it will continue to do so, placing 1 unit in the city with the Omen token and moving along from there until the total cost of units exceeds the amount of money that it has. So for example, this is a 1 cost unit. It places it here. All right, so it still has 1 gold to spend. This is a 3 cost unit. It has now exceeded the amount of coins that it has, and it is done. End of the turn, it's going to reveal the top card of the deck. Using this strength value here, it's going to build, placing 3, because that's the amount of strength shown, cards face down under its smallest monument. The AI always builds its monuments from smallest to largest as the game progresses. So its turn is complete, and now we move to me. All right. So the first part of the wealth step in Heir to the Dunes is to reveal the top card. It does not match my faction. Now, I would not get to put the card directly into play. It would come into my hand if it matched my faction. Just to clarify, for the real player versus the AI, all of the rules, I'm governed by all the standard rules of the game. So I'm going to be playing as though I would play under normal conditions against a live opponent. It's only the AI that has a slightly different system. So now I have to decide what to do with my wealth actions. I do have 3 wealth actions. I'm going to go ahead and take 4 cards. So I'm going to use all 3 for cards and get the bonus card as a 4th. Keeping in mind that at the end of my turn, my hand cannot, I will have to discard down to 5. All right, so how did we do? What have we got here? We've got that. So we're happy there. One thing that I forgot to mention, because it did not come up during the AI player's turn, is when you play, and this goes for the AI as well, the first unit of devoted to your god, its cost is reduced by 1, and that does apply to the AI as well, although in this case neither of the units that were drawn were of the Anubis faction. So I think I am favored. We'll go ahead and do this. Pay 1 coin. And so this unit is Kolossal. So it counts as 2 units for triggering War Torn or taking up capacity, and it has Maneuver. It gets to use it. I could use its ability. Well, actually, I can't use its ability because both of those target units have Maneuver themselves, so I will not be able to make use of that. Do I want to start a fight in this city? I think I want to set it up for next turn. So the way that a city becomes war torn is if during a player's turn their opponent has 3 value worth of units there, meaning capacity, so either 3 units or 1 unit in a Kolossal or more, or if there are 5 total units in a city. So because I already have 2 here, I could place just any 1 unit and ensure that there will be a fight there next turn. And because the way the Omen marker is going to move, I think it's likely that the AI will not get another unit in here. So I will... It's a tough call. I think we'll go ahead and spend 1 coin, play my first Horus unit of the turn, so that reduces cost by 1. bringing me to 3 strength and ensuring at this point that on the AI's next turn that this city will be war-torn, with me having 3 strength to its 1. So I feel like I'm okay with that as a chance. And then I'm going to pay 1. Play this one to here for 1. Now it's split loyalty, which means I flip the favor to the one that it is not. And I am going to go ahead and be done for now. So I'll move into the war step. None of the cities are war torn at this time. You know what? I'm incorrect. This city is war-torn because his is Kolossal as well, so that brings the total unit count to 5. So I guess we're going to start a fight there on my turn as well. So I have 3 power to the AI's 1. I'm going to be the winner. So I take the reward tile, flip it here. Now as the winner, I can only keep 1 unit. It cannot be the Kolossal because that counts as 2, so I have to get rid of that. The loser gets to keep 2 units, so the AI is fine. I take the reward tile, and now I have 2 VP. So we'll go to my offering step, and I'm going to build by discarding this unit with 3 strength. I'm going to place the 3 top cards of the deck under one of my monuments. Where do I want to go? I think I'm going to start building my middle one, which has a 7 build cost. All right, so now my turn is complete. We move to the AI's wealth step. The OMEN token moves. It gains a coin, reveals the top card of the deck. It is not an Anubis unit, glad to say, and now it begins to spend its 3 coin. The first one is an Anubis unit, so this will be the first one it plays during the turn, meaning that it costs 1 less coin, and in this case it's a cost of 1, therefore 0. So it spends 0 coin to play this, still having 3 to spend. 2 coin here, so it has 1 to spend. 1 here, so now it has spent all 3. However, the AI gets to continue spending coin until it has exceeded the total number of coin that it has. So it's going to get maximum value here. Oh, and it's not even playing around. So there's 3 more spent there. So now it has exceeded its value of coin and it stops. It checks to see if any of these locations, or I should say cities, are war-torn. None of them are. And it's going to conclude its turn by building for 1 under here. And it's my turn. So that is, that center city does not look so good for me. Reveal the top card. It is not a Horus unit, so I don't get a free card. And I'm need to save that. I'm going to use all 3 of my wealth actions for coin, so that's 4. Bring me to 5 coin. Where that's going, low strength there, so I can do that. I have to save that for here. So unfortunately, I have found myself in a position where I don't have any Horus cards in hand, so I'm not going to get any of my cool abilities. But I can pick a fight that I can win. So I'm going to go ahead and pay 2. And to play the Tombbound Picklock here. I'm going to pay 2 more. Play the Headhunter here. Alright, so that now means there's a total of 5 units in this city, making it war-torn. I don't have anything else I wish to play during my search step. And we'll go to the war step, resolve it. I win with 3 strength to 2. So I'm going to take the reward tile, discard down to 1 unit, which will be that one, and it gets to stay at 2. It will. So now this is a situation where it has a Kolossal unit and a regular unit, and it gets to keep 2. Well, obviously the only circumstance under which it can keep 2 is the Kolossal. However, the AI will always decide to keep the highest strength. In this case, they are both the same strength. So then it would choose to keep the highest cost as well. Now this is because cost is a tiebreak if both sides have the same strength in a conflict. So it always keeps the most power that it possibly can. And lastly, it will keep the Kolossal, because even though these are both tied, it's always trying to start the fights. And in this case, this will make it the most likely outcome to do so. So it goes ahead and discards that and keeps that. And the end of my turn, I will go ahead and build for 2, placing 1, 2 more units under my Temple of Light, which has a build of 7. And my turn is done. So now we move to its wealth step. It's going to move the Omen token. It's going to gain a coin, now having 4. Reveal the top card, thankfully not an Anubis unit. And it's going to begin spending its 4 coin in the rightmost city over here now. This is a unit with a cost of 3, but it's the first Anubis unit, so it only costs 2, so still has 2 coin to spend. Comes back to the rightmost, spending 1. That's going to flip it to Horus' favor. And so it has 1 coin left to spend, and it places in here, which is definitely going to win that fight. You know, actually, I believe I messed up on my last turn. There were 3 units here in the middle for the AI, which I chose not to fight, but that would have made it war-torn, and it would have won that fight. So we're going to go ahead and backtrack a little and give it what it deserves. And then it would have gone down to 1 unit with the highest power, meaning this one, and then place here. Sorry about that. So now we look, not war-torn, but lots of strength. It's not good for me. And not war-torn. So it goes to the end of its turn. Time to build. I'm sorry again. 2, 3, 4. Nope, not ready to build. So that checks at the start of its surge step. It has not exceeded the build value. So now we go here, builds 3 under it. So they will be popping their 5-cost monument at the start of their next surge step. And the rule is slightly different for the AI. They get to place the largest strength unit into the city where their Omen token is. They don't care whether it's loyal to Anubis in this case or not. It's irrelevant. All right, so my turn. Getting a little thin on resources here. We'll see if I can peel a Horus unit, and I did not. So, what's their strength? That's 4 down there. 5 in the middle with a fight coming. There's a fight coming here. Ugh. Not good. Strength of 2, so I guess I should just plan on winning that. That seems like the smartest play. So I am going to take 2 coins and draw 1 card. Okay. That was very fortunate. So 3 units here in the middle for an enemy, and 3 units here. These are war-torn. This one is fine at the time. I am going to spend 2 coins. Ooh, that's going to come down to tie breaks. Play the Temple Servant here. Use the invocation ability because I'm favored to draw 2 cards or gain 2 coins. I'm going to draw 2 cards, so I draw the last card here and reshuffle. This. What do we got here? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we can do that. Now, keep in mind, I have reward tiles which have abilities, so I could potentially use one of these in each surge step, but of course that at the end of the game will reduce them from being worth 2 victory points to 1, which I can ill afford to give up. At this point, I don't think I want to use either of them. So I'm going to win the fight here because it is actually, because I have invocation, I'm favored. I have strength 3 to its 2. So we're going to we'll leave this one here. It again is going to keep the Kolossal unit, although that's not going to make much of a difference given that that city is now depleted. So I have 6 to their 2. However, unfortunately, the center here is also war-torn, and they're about to win that, going to 4. This comes down. They will look at their 2 units. Now, this is a case... well, they will choose to keep the Kolossal here as well because it has 3 strength, so that is the highest amount of strength that it could keep, and now this is discarded. Ugh, I think we're going to lose. All right, and I will build... For 2, the Temple of Light will be ready on my next turn. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get a next turn. And here we go. So we move the Omen token, which always moves. So it moved to the next city. However, this city is depleted, so then it moves to this one. We reveal the top. Oh, goody, an Anubis. That is bad luck. And we give them another coin, so they're at 5. So here we go, starting here. That is 2 coin. And then we go here for 5 coin. And unfortunately, that does not put them over the top, so they will be able to add 1 more unit here. They actually cannot, because it would put them over. Boy, talk about a lucky hit. This is a Kolossal unit which would take them above their city capacity of 5, which it can never exceed. It would take them to 6, so they're forced to move it to the next one, which in fact the same thing would occur. Therefore, it cannot play this unit, which is discarded. Wow, what a lucky pull. So, this is not war-torn. Oh, never mind. They would get to pop its structure at the start of the search step, so it's not going to matter anyway. Play the highest strength unit buried under here, which is a 2, which unfortunately brings them to 5 here, flipping it to war-torn. They're going to win that fight hands down, taking the token. We go to their offering step, which is they're now 2 depleted. It would complete it, however, there's nothing left for them to do, and the game is over. So now we score. The AI has 3 points for a completed structure, or the smallest completed structure, and 6 for reward tiles, so it has 9 points there. I have 6 points in front of me for reward tiles and 1 treasured unit in hand. So it got me 9-7. And as you can see, that's how it can roll very quickly. The AI can take you down. So that was the second level of difficulty. It can scale up as you wish, and eventually it would become unbeatable if you began with all 7 coins. There's no way that you would be able to overcome the AI, but I find that having played it a lot, this second level is quite a challenge for me. Had I been able to get another turn, my monument would have popped. It was the middle one, and it would have been 5 victory points, taking me to actually 12. So I would have been able to beat it had I gotten another turn, but unfortunately it depleted the reward tokens and ended the game. So that's how close it can be. And this is, with somebody who's played this several times and knows intimately how it works. So it can certainly provide quite a challenge if you're a fan of Omen and solo games in particular. Any questions over in the chat at all?
Nope.
Nothing to ask? Oh,
nothing pertaining to.
Okay, great. Well, thanks to everybody for joining us as always for our Tuesday Twitch streams from Kolossal HQ here. Be sure to go over to BGG and subscribe to Omen Heir of the Dunes for the latest updates. We know that the Kickstarter for this is planned later this year. We just don't know exactly when yet. And thanks as always for supporting us and keeping track of what's going on and joining us here. Thanks for watching, everybody.